Hey, congrats for making it to this video. If you're watching this, I assume you've completed the course and you are awesome because you are a completer and most people don't finish the stuff that they start, but you do, so congrats. So we made it through the end of IP version 6. Let's do a quick recap of what we went over in this course. When it comes to IP version 6, we're changing quite a few different aspects. We're changing the addresses, we're changing the packets, and we're changing the communication flow or the protocols that are used. And we got into each one of those. We started out by talking about those addresses and what those addresses look like. We got into the format of those addresses and different address types, whether it be unicast, multicast, or anycast. We got into how we may want to compress those addresses because they're so long. But of course, if we compress them, we also have to decompress them or expand them. We got into the different address ranges and what those address ranges are used for. And we took an in-depth look into multicast, the different multicast ranges, and things like the solicited node multicast. Then we took a look at the packets and routing. We saw how the header was different with IP version 6 versus IP version 4. And what are some of the benefits and trade-offs as we move towards IP version 6? And some of the ways that we can start transitioning from IP version 4 to IP version 6. Then we took on the big topic, Neighbor Discovery Protocol or NDP. We stair-stepped through the information on how Neighbor Discovery Protocol works and how it's applied. And we talked about things like the ICMP type and how we have router solicitation, router advertisements, and neighbor solicitation and neighbor advertisements. And how those solicitations and advertisements flow back and forth. So we can do things like duplicate address detection and find out things like what is the router or the default gateway on the network. And how your machine starts joining all these multicast groups so that way we don't have to send broadcasts around the network. Then we got into how are we going to assign IP version 6 addresses to the machines. We can statically assign addresses to a machine so it can have access to the network. Or we could set up a stateful DHCP version 6 server and it will hand out addresses. Or we could set up Slack, or we could set up a combination of a Slack and a stateless DHCP server. Then we took a look at IP version 6 subnetting. And we could do just basic subnetting where network 0 is assigned to the first network and network 1 is assigned to the second network and so on and so forth. Or we could actually take those different positions and assign it to sites and regions and departments, and we can break it down. And in some ways that could actually simplify the way we manage our networks. So I hope you have a great understanding of IP version 6 and have enjoyed going through the content of this course. And as we see IP version 4 becoming obsolete and going away, this information will become more and more prevalent as we move forward.